Howdy folks. Water Tanks just updated something really big. I don't think any other Water Tanks CC has talked about this yet, so you're getting the first here possibly. The Matchmaker has undergone a new facelift. Let's talk about this for a second. It says, Commanders, there's probably no single system in the game that shapes your experience more directly than the Matchmaker. It decides who you battle, what you battle, and how balanced the battle feels before the first shot's fired. When it works well, you barely notice it. When it doesn't, it's hard to ignore. That's why we want to talk about this openly, consistency, what changed in Update 2.0 where things still need improvement, and what we're working on next. So, in 2.0, before talking about what's next, let's establish things where things started in standard after the update 2.0, not to dwell on the past, but because it's important to context from the road ahead. In update 2.0, we rebuilt the Matchmaker's core from scratch. It was a structural overhaul, not surface level fix. It was necessary groundwork before we could get meaningful address to the issues that have been holding up for years, and what we found in its foundations in place. We tackled several specific issues where we constantly affected battle play and battle quality. Role balance, a major improvement. Role battles saw the most significant improvement, over 97% of the role imbalances of the battles. We identified that tiers 8 and 10 have been eliminated since 2.0, and infographics below show the difference. Red battles where role balance was not maintained, and green where the roles balance were maintained. And as you can see, it's all in the red. Wargaming have said that there's something going on between tiers 8, 9, and 10, and they're in the process of fixing that. Guess what, Wargaming? No. You had this exact same problem in tiers 4, 5, and 6. Okay? What you've done is you've taken the problems that was in 4, 5, and 6 and bumped them up to 8, 9, and 10. Tier 7 is where you're going to have the most problems overall. Just saying. So, tank destroyer limits. Extreme cases eliminated. Tank destroyers limits delivered clear, measurable results. Battles with 7 to 8 TDs per side is slow and punishing standoffs where pushing the flank felt almost futile. No longer happens. The cap is now set at 5 TDs per team, and most battles landing 3 or 4. That's the range we consider healthy for both balance and gameplay variety. Vehicle distribution is also improved, particularly lower tiers. Identical vehicles are now spread more evenly between teams, and repetitive mirror matches compositions that follows larger vehicle releases have been significantly reduced. The data confirms that improvements are working as intended. Are you fucking high? They're not working as intended, but we will redirect. 2.0 was a step forward, not the finish line. There's still work to do. Matchmaker is not yet where it should be. Several persistent issues require more time, more data, and more careful iteration than a single update allows. We've been working through them. These are some of the improvements we're planning to test, and everything goes well, bring to the game at the end of summer of 2026. It's too late. Some of these changes roll gradually and evolve in the test and greater feedback with a system as complex as matchmaking. It's not complex. +1, -1. Problem fucking solved. Next. Literally, that's it. You solved it. So tier 8s we'll see tier 7s and tier 9s. Tier 9s will see tier 8s, tier 10s. Tier 10s will see tier 11s, tier 9s. Did I just fix your fucking problem? Yes. You're welcome. Light tank sub-role. Light tanks play fundamentally different roles on the battlefield, but the matchmaker currently doesn't reflect that. A damage-focused light tank and a spotting-focused light tank are not the same asset in a team. Treating them as equals creates imbalance that neither side benefits from. Duh. We're planning to introduce 3 sub-role classifications: versatile, damage, and spotting focused. These are based on how these vehicles actually behave in battle. The matchmaker will use these to build more coherent team compositions, ensuring that both sides have comparable capabilities rather than just incomparable number on paper. Capping the SPGs to 2 per team. Thank you. Full disclosure, I'm an artillery player, and this is a long time coming. So, it's a hard new cap of 2 artillery per team is about making artillery presence stable and predictable, something players can factor in rather than occasionally be surprised by. 2 per side is the right call, right ceiling, and that's where we're aiming for. Problem is, you're gonna have to modify a lot of missions and a lot of badges. Especially there's one badge that says you have to kill 3 or more 3 or more artillery pieces in a game. So, just saying. Stricter platooning tier matchmaking. A platoon of certain tier should face a platoon of the same tier. The matchmaker doesn't always guarantee that right now, but it should. We're introducing a strict tier-based platoon matching across the board. Getting this right requires careful implementation. We don't want to close one gap while opening another in a form of longer queue times, but the direction is clear. It is something we're committing to getting right. Do you want to know how to fix all of your matchmaker apart from just the +1 neg1? Add a PvE mode. Problem solved. Players aren't going to bitch about tiers when they realise that the players that they're playing against aren't uber Jesus Christ, you're going to kill me from halfway across the map. Anyway, reduce 2 tiers above battles 8 and 9. Thank you. So if you're tier 8, you're not going to see tier 10s, and if you're tier 9s, you're not going to see tier 11s, is basically what they're saying. This is the most consistent piece of feedback we hear. We're actively working on reducing the frequency of tier 8s and tier 9 vehicles being pulled into battles 2 tiers above them, and increasing the share of battles where vehicles face opponents of the same tier or just 1 tier higher. What did I just say? +1 neg1. Fewer non-15 by 15 battles. A 15 by 15 battle is a standard format for a reason. Smaller battles and the kind of occur during off-peak hours on lower population servers are under specific queue conditions. This should be rare exceptions, not something players run into regularly. We're adjusting how the matchmaker handles constrained queue situations so that a full 15 by 15 format is continuously protected, and intended experience should quietly vary based on the time of day or server you're on. Improving the matchmaker together, stay in touch. Matchmaking is one of the most complex and consequential systems in the game. It operates under real consistent queue size, population distribution, and tier spread. At the same time, it balances a significant number of competing factors that complexity doesn't excuse the issue that exists, but it does explain why some solutions take longer than anyone, including us, would like. That's why we're committing to going forward as a continuing implementation, decisions on ground data, and regular communications. Testings will begin on EU servers 1, EU servers 4, and North American servers 3. Starting next regular update, we'll share what we're seeing as we go, not just as when things go well. Some changes will be immediately noticeable, others will take time and to show their full effect. We will keep you informed either way. So basically what they're saying is EU servers 1 and EU servers 4 and North American server 3 are going to be absolutely crammed with players, especially at tier 8, because there's a lot of premium tanks at tier 8 and a lot of premium tanks at tier 9 that want to make credits. So basically, if you really want to make money, start using your tier 8 premiums again, because you're never going to see tier 10s. They're basically just saying all tier 8 premium tanks are getting preferential matchmaker again. Or they're just giving preferential matchmaker to all tier 8s and all tier 9s. So, highest you're going to see should be tier 9s at tier 8. Highest you should see at tier 9 should be tier 10s. So tier 10 is the sweet spot because you're going to see tier 9s and tier 11s, which means you can have fun games again at tier 10, which is about friggin' time. Same at tier 9. I love taking on tier 11s. Make no mistake, okay? When I am playing my tier 10s and my tier 9s, like my E7, the fact that my E75, okay, we'll see a Tashin Rate, or we'll see a T803 or whatever, or the hacker or whatever. Yeah, it's a struggle for me at times, okay, especially with the Chinese tier 10s and tier 11s, because, you know, their armor profiles still throw me off a little bit. But the point is, it's still a learning experience. It is still a learning experience, and that's what the game should always be. The game should always be a learning experience where you're at least learning something. And if you're not learning anything, Why are you playing the game? I get it. Fundamentally, video games are meant to be fun, and that's the truth. There's no way to spin it. Video games are ultimately supposed to be about time investments per fun. Okay, it's a simple math equation. Lately, World of Tanks has not been fun. A lot of the CCs have said, what is going on with this matchmaker? Since 2.0. So we're at 2.2 now. So they've had two fundamental hardcore pushes. Granted, 2.2 introduced new crew skills. Okay. And they've also removed encounters, battles and whatnot, and grand battles. You can't play those anymore. They're all gone. Okay. Literally, if you used to go to your settings, so you go here, go settings, over here, used to be a little section where you could select grand battles and all these other things. Once you unlock certain tiers, like tier 6, you get encounters. At tier 8, you get this. They've got rid of those. They're all gone. All you ever play now is standard CTF. Not really capture the flag, but more like capture CTB, capture the base, and it's direct to, and it is literally a direct 15-15. They are trying to fix that. So lately, so literally, when this new micro patch hits in 4 or 5 days, no, it should be sooner than that. So probably Friday, Saturday, when the patch hits, guaranteed, EU1, EU4, and North American 3 will be packed with players testing it out, especially players like me. Okay, I'm going to be testing the matchmaker, and as you can see, I've got tier 10s, I've even got tier 11s. Okay, I go to my mission tanks real quick. Edit mode, and I go right there and add the Tashinrade. We're going to save it, exit. Right there, I have a Tashinrade. In fact, let me go to auto return crew. There we go. I have a Tashinrade. I have tier 11s. I have tier 10s. I have tier 9s. I have every freaking tier in the German tech tree. I'm a German main. Okay? And no, I'm not like a War Thunder German main. Okay? But the point is, guys, if you truly want to understand why certain things are the way they are, you're going to have to play on those servers. So EU1, EU4, North American 3 are going to be crammed with players. And like I said, I've got tier 9s through tier 11s. I'm going to be testing this very heavily. And I'm going to be testing it live on Twitch, so you guys can struggle along with me. Twitch.com/acesand8. The link will be in the description of the video. But anyway, guys, like I said, this is somewhat good light at the end of the tunnel. So CCs like Ayux and myself, I'm not a part of the CC program, but content creators like myself, Ayuxan, Skills, Ducky, they've all openly said that there is something fundamentally wrong with the matchmaker. I've been calling it out since 2.0. Skills has been finally listening, and even he's seeing it now, and he's calling it out in his streams. He's even flat out said that World of Tanks is no longer fun to play. Why? Because of the matchmaker. And it has nothing to do with the Ares tanks, even though they are fundamentally. There is a fundamental problem with wargaming wanting to keep adding in different freaking loading mechanisms and you're fucking with what works. Okay, stop fucking. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Okay, I mean, honestly, I'm surprised you guys haven't added a dual barrel artillery piece yet. And no, I am not giving you fucking ideas, but I really am surprised you haven't added in a dual barrel artillery piece yet. God forbid if you did. But fundamentally, I genuinely think that Wargaming are trying their best to fix a problem that they have admitted that they caused. So in many retrospects, I have to give Wargaming a pat on the back. You are doing the best that you can. So I'm not going to give you a hard time in this video, other than there is some statements that you made on that you definitely need to have your head looked at. Anyway, guys, this video is going for far too long. I'm going to fuck off. And keep your flying, keep your enemies flying. Cobra Commander is out. And I'll see you 60 bitches in the next one.